So let's do a full repair on one of these small Dewalt. They started calling them 12 volt, but the older ones are 10.8 volt. They are called DCB127 if they have 2 ampere hours, 125 if they have like 1.5, 1.3. And this one I've assembled is from 2020, DCB127, and it had 2 ampere hours with something 20R. It's not economical to replace the cell as a business, but I will do it because it looks like fun. It's only 3 cells. I seldom get to build small packs like this. This one looks to be in good condition, no water damage. The only thing holding the cells in place is the nickel strips. So I will complement it with some glue, and let's see if I can figure out where the negative terminal is. It's actually marked on the cell holders, main negative, main positive. Now I will reuse some of the nickel, but not all of it. And let's first try and make a measurement on how thick this is and what we need to replace it. 0.3. Yeah, around 0.3. And let's check the width. 9.25. 9.25. Hot. They seem to be fitting pretty well, and I'm using refurbished ones, which I think will be very suitable when repairing a battery like this. Let's double check that the voltage is fine. 3.9, 3.9, 3.9. Just a little bit to keep it in place while we spot weld it, and it will make things so much easier. So I will spot weld off camera because I don't have a good setup there, but I will choose nickel that is 1.5 millimeter thick and 7 millimeter wide. That's my go-to nickel, and I will do 2 layers of that, so it will not be we will get the same thickness, but we will not get the same width. But as you can see on this one is not 9.25 wide either. Now it is 9 almost 10 wide, but it does have a gap in the middle. So these are around 4, so we will be very close to the original spec. Well, that was quick. I'm not used to spot welding going this quick. Like 1 or 2 minutes for a whole battery pack. And my leads were a little bit too long, so I will cut them off. But I can use them to pull and see that the connection is good. And I usually try and press them down so it looks good. Same with this one. Man, I could do like 10 or 20 of these batteries an hour. So maybe it isn't such a big problem repairing. Maybe I'm just lazy. But if we do work with some company and they have like 100 of these batteries, we might be able to do it without losing money. Because it doesn't take a long time. Especially once you've done it a few times. So let's prepare those terminals. To have a good solid connection. Yeah, that looks good. Heat it up one more time while having pressure on it so I don't get a cold weld. And we do have the cell holder under, so the heat isn't transferred to the cell. And that is one of the quickest battery builds I've ever done. Let's just check the stats. We have the full battery voltage here, 11.7, and we have cell group 1, 3.9, 3.9, and 3.9. So let's see if we can give this a charge. Let's put it in the top first, see if it makes sense. Yes, it does. Come on. And it's actually charging. But it is charging, so I think we actually did something that works. I will probably not do it again unless I can do like 5 or 10 at a time. Then I can do them in less than an hour and it makes sense repairing them. And these are not really high discharge cells. Well, in the lower tier there is 22 amp, but I like going with Sony Murata since I know they can last for up to 20 years. They can also handle being in there without a real BMS, without balancing, and still make a hell of a good job. So that is always the best choice for these power tool batteries. I know Molicel has a good reputation among vapors, but they're usually just using one cell at a time. When it comes to full battery pack, Sony is definitely the way to go, and I will keep calling them Sony. I have a hard time calling them Murata. They've always been Sony to me. Now that's how you repair it, and if you're lucky like me, it will start charging. If you're unlucky, it might be something else. But we do sell spare parts, but only here in Sweden at the moment. Very easy and quick to work with, no problems at all, so just go ahead and replace those cells with something better.